Intermittent fasting, IF, has gained significant attention in recent years, not just as a weight management strategy, but as a potential way to enhance metabolic health, synchronize circadian rhythms, and improve long-term vitality. At its core, intermittent fasting is a pattern of eating that cycles between periods of eating and fasting, often in a daily window of 8 to 12 hours, though some approaches extend the fast to 16 hours or more. While popular claims suggest that fasting itself boosts metabolism, the reality is more nuanced. Research indicates that the benefits arise from a combination of factors, including hormonal adaptations, improved nutrient utilization, alignment with the body's circadian rhythms, and, in many cases, a natural reduction in calorie intake. Understanding these mechanisms requires examining how fasting interacts with metabolism, meal timing, and circadian biology. Metabolism is a complex interplay of energy intake, energy expenditure, and hormonal regulation. During fasting periods, insulin levels drop, which facilitates fat mobilization from adipose tissue. Lower insulin signals the body to use stored energy more efficiently, and research has shown that fasting can increase circulating levels of norepinephrine, a hormone that can transiently elevate resting metabolic rate by stimulating fat oxidation. Some studies suggest that short-term fasts of 12 to 16 hours do not reduce basal metabolic rate, and in certain contexts, may slightly enhance energy expenditure through these hormonal shifts. However, the magnitude of any direct metabolic boost is relatively modest. The more pronounced benefits of intermittent fasting seem to derive from improved substrate utilization, reductions in body fat, and better regulation of glucose and lipid metabolism. Meal timing is a critical component of intermittent fasting that often overlaps with circadian biology. The body's peripheral clocks in the liver, pancreas, and adipose tissue are highly responsive to nutrient intake, and eating at consistent times each day strengthens the synchrony between these clocks and the central circadian pacemaker in the brain. Time-restricted eating, such as consuming all meals within an early 8 to 10-hour window, aligns nutrient intake with periods of peak insulin sensitivity, which generally occur in the morning and early afternoon. By concentrating food intake during periods of high metabolic efficiency, intermittent fasting supports glucose regulation, enhances fat oxidation, and reduces the metabolic stress associated with late-night eating. Studies show that eating late in the evening, when insulin sensitivity is naturally lower, can impair glucose handling and increase fat storage, highlighting the importance of timing as much as the fasting window itself. Circadian rhythms, the body's internal biological clock, interact closely with intermittent fasting and meal timing to influence metabolic health. Circadian rhythms regulate hormone release, digestive enzyme activity, and energy utilization throughout the day. When fasting is structured to coincide with daylight hours, it reinforces the natural cycles of cortisol, melatonin, and insulin, leading to more efficient metabolism. Early time-restricted feeding, where the eating window begins shortly after waking and ends in the late afternoon, has been associated with improved glucose tolerance, reduced blood pressure, and lower markers of inflammation compared with eating the same meals later in the evening. Aligning fasting and feeding periods with circadian cues leverages the body's innate biology, enhancing energy efficiency, stabilizing appetite hormones, and supporting restorative processes that occur overnight. Nutrition science emphasizes that the composition of meals consumed during the eating window is crucial for maximizing the benefits of intermittent fasting. Consuming nutrient-dense foods rich in protein, healthy fats, fiber, and micronutrients ensures that the body receives sufficient substrates for energy, tissue repair, and cognitive function during the shorter feeding period. Protein-rich meals, for instance, support muscle maintenance and thermogenesis, which can help preserve resting metabolic rate during calorie reduction. Fiber and complex carbohydrates promote stable blood sugar, enhance satiety, and support gut microbiome diversity, which is increasingly recognized as a contributor to metabolic health. Meanwhile, healthy fats from nuts, seeds, olive oil, or fatty fish support hormonal regulation and reduce inflammation. In this context, intermittent fasting is not simply about skipping meals. It is about concentrating nutrient intake in a way that optimizes metabolism, hormonal balance, and circadian alignment. Daily routines play a major role in determining how effectively intermittent fasting impacts metabolism. Individuals who pair fasting with consistent wake times, early morning activity, and nutrient-rich breakfast or first meal tend to experience better energy balance and metabolic outcomes. Morning movement, such as light cardio or stretching, can enhance fat oxidation during fasting periods, while hydration supports enzymatic activity and cellular function. Evening routines that limit late-night snacking allow the body to remain in a fasting state overnight, supporting autophagy, cellular repair, and alignment with melatonin-driven sleep processes. By integrating fasting into a predictable daily rhythm, the body adapts metabolically, reducing fluctuations in glucose, stabilizing hunger hormones like ghrelin and leptin, and improving overall energy efficiency. Metabolic research provides compelling evidence that intermittent fasting improves multiple markers of metabolic health, even independent of significant weight loss. Time-restricted feeding has been shown to improve insulin sensitivity, reduce fasting glucose and insulin levels, enhance lipid profiles, and decrease visceral fat. These benefits are amplified when fasting windows align with circadian rhythms, particularly when food intake occurs earlier in the day. Importantly, much of the research indicates that calorie reduction is still a major driver of weight-related benefits. Intermittent fasting often results in naturally lower energy intake because the eating window is shorter, reducing opportunities for snacking and overconsumption. However, the added value lies in the timing. Concentrating meals during periods of metabolic readiness enhances glucose handling, fat oxidation, and hormonal regulation beyond what calorie restriction alone can achieve. Psychological and behavioral aspects also influence the success of intermittent fasting. Having a structured eating window encourages mindful eating, portion control, and planning, which can support long-term adherence and reduce mindless consumption. People often report improved focus, mental clarity, and reduced food-related stress during fasting periods, likely due to more stable blood sugar levels and predictable daily rhythms. These cognitive and behavioral benefits further reinforce the physiological advantages of aligning meal timing with circadian biology. In summary, intermittent fasting does not drastically boost metabolism in the sense of permanently raising resting energy expenditure, but it exerts multiple metabolic benefits through hormonal modulation, improved nutrient timing, circadian alignment, and enhanced substrate utilization. Time-restricted eating allows the body to process nutrients during periods of optimal metabolic efficiency, stabilizes blood sugar, supports fat oxidation, and encourages a more harmonious relationship with hunger and satiety signals. When combined with nutrient-dense meals, consistent daily routines, and alignment with circadian rhythms, intermittent fasting emerges as a holistic strategy for improving metabolic health, maintaining energy balance, and supporting long-term wellness. Rather than a simple shortcut for calories burned, it is a lifestyle framework that leverages the science of nutrition, biology, and daily habits to optimize the body's natural energy and repair systems.